Thanks for joining us on Business Now. I'm Blessed Omanuse. We'll begin now with this report coming from the federal government, which says that the federal government has inaugurated the Governing Council of the Midstream and Downstream Gas Infrastructure Fund, which has the target of attracting $575 billion investment in the Nigerian gas sector. Late last year, President Bola Tinubu appointed a governing council to lead the midstream and downstream gas infrastructure fund to invest in infrastructure projects that will improve transportation and processing, that's midstream, and utilization, that's downstream, of the natural gas in Nigeria. Speaking at the inauguration meeting of the council in Abuja over the weekend, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekperikpe Epom, told the seven-member council that the president's confidence in his ability to chair the MDGIF is not just a personal honor, but a clarion call to service for all of us. According to him, the establishment of the MDGIF came at a critical juncture in Nigeria's energy landscape as the country strives for economic diversification and sustainable development. He said the MDGIF represents not just a financial instrument, but a symbol of the government's dedication to fostering an environment conducive to private sector participation and international collaboration. The minister further called on domestic and international stakeholders to collaborate in line with the recently signed executive orders on petroleum sector reforms, aiming to boost investment in the oil and gas sector. To politics now, the House of Representatives has called for an urgent review of the 2024 budget projections owing to the free fall of the Naira in the past few months. Rising for plenary session, the lawmakers adopted a motion on the matter of public urgent importance titled Need to evaluate the implications of the current exchange rate on the 2024 national budget implementation to ensure a balanced budget and increase in standard of living of Nigerians. The motion, moved by a member of the All Progressive Congress representing Koshofe Federal Constituency, Lagos State, Kafilat Ogbara, drew the attention of the House to the fluctuating exchange rate of the Naira to the dollar since the passage of the 28.7 trillion Naira 2024 budget by the National Assembly and the subsequent assent by President Bola Tinubu. Moving the motion, Ogbara, who doubles as the House Committee Chairman on Women Affairs and Social Development, noted that the initial proposal of the federal government on the 2024 budget based on the projected 800 Naira to a dollar was no longer feasible. She also stated that when exchange rates change, the prices of imported goods will change in value, including domestic products that rely on imported parts and raw materials, stressing that exchange rates also impact investment performance, interest rate and inflation, and can even extend to influence the job market and real estate sector. Meanwhile, following accusations by Senator Abdullahi Ningi of Bauchi Central, representing the People's Democratic Party, that the executive is implementing a budget older than the one approved on January the 1st, 2024. The presidency has described the claims as false, asserting that Tinubu had initially presented a 27.5 trillion naira budget to the National Assembly on November the 29th, 2023. According to the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the budget included 9.92 trillion naira for recurrent expenditure, 8.25 trillion naira for debt services, and 8.7 trillion naira for capital expenditure, contrasting Negi's claims. The presidency emphasized that it is impossible for the Senate to have debated and passed a 25 trillion naira budget that was never presented. And now to the foreign exchange market. The Naira may likely appreciate to 1,200 Naira against the dollar in the next 12 months. That's according to the latest projection by Goldman Sachs. The report stated that the forecast is hinged on a combination of positive re-rate, capital inflows, and evidence of a shift to the more orthodox policy setup. According to the report, the lack of credible policy has implied a volatile, sharp depreciation of the naira in recent months and a cumulative 60 to 70% weakening of the currency over the past 9 months. The global consulting firm also mentioned that the policy steps implemented to date are only a first step in the right direction, and more follows through is required to achieve a durable macro stabilization. Last month, the Central Bank of Nigeria, through the Monetary Policy Committee, jacked up the interest rate by 400 basis points to 22.75% from 18.75%. The increase in the benchmark interest rate has had investors flocking to Nigerian government debt infrastructure, pushing yields to record highs across the board and an upsurge in diaspora remittances to $1.3 billion in February from $300 million in January. The productivity of the private sector of the Nigerian economy dropped markedly from 54.9 in January to 51 in February 2024. That again is according to the recently released Purchasing Managers Index of the Stanbic IBTC Bank for the month of February. According to the report, some companies raised output in response to higher new orders, but severe price pressure acted to limit growth. The report also said that activities increased in the agriculture and services sectors, but decreased in manufacturing and wholesale and retail sectors, attributing the decline to sharp input costs that prevailed in February due to depreciation of the naira in the foreign exchange market. The PMI report also shows that the rate of overall input cost inflation accelerated sharply in February and was by far the steepest recorded since the survey began in January 2024, comfortably outpacing the previous peak seen in October 2023. In line with the picture of the overall input cost, the pace of selling price inflation also hit a new record high in February. The report said that though business activities continue to increase in February, the rate of expansion slowed sharply from that which was seen in January and was only slight.